in business in particular, we're always told that we have to be growing and scaling. And like we look all around us and there's people like 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure businesses. And we're like, well, why am I still struggling to get my first few opportunities when I see that they're not even putting in the hours or they're not even trying that hard, or I tried this service and it's not even good. And like my service is better than them, you know? And like I've had these cycles for my entire career as well. And I feel like sometimes you are able to resolve some of them and then others come in and then others come in. And it's like, you know, right now I just released my first book and all these exact same things have been coming up. Like why have I only sold this number? And like why do I only have 3 reviews? And one of them is my boyfriend, like I suck, you know, like it just like it has been really, really tough to like stay grounded in any kind of self-worth or just knowing that what I have to offer is valuable regardless of what people say. So I think part of it for me is like the external validation of whether you're good enough. And I think part of it is, like you said, the inner chatter around like, why doesn't the outcome match the effort that I've been putting in? And so, yeah, I think being resentful is the main feeling that I have around that, because it's like, you know, we get to feel entitled to the result when we try really hard, and we feel like those things have to relate to each other. But, you know, when we get into like what like how to get out of this mentality, I think a big part of that is going to be realizing that they're not connected, that they don't have to be connected at all, which is kind of like a revelation in a good way, but like also really hard to face because it means that all the previous resentment that you had wasn't really necessary.
Exactly. Congratulations on the book once again.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I think that's, especially when you are a good person and you have good intentions and you're putting great content out there, content that, can help transform a person's life and it's not getting traction, right? It's really easy to fall into that loop because it's like, why? Like, what am I doing wrong? Right.
Mm.
And I think, the thing to remember, I would say, it's like you have to come back to your why you're doing what you're doing. And I've done more of the personal work, the inner growth. It takes an extra step or extra effort or extra to get out there and to sell the services, right? But I come back to my why. I know that, for example, if I do that, yes, it's a lot more lucrative, but it's like my why is to spread this message. So you have to come back to, I'm doing this to help, one person. If I help one person, I come back to that. If I help one person, it's enough. Right. And that kind of helps me because, I teach this, but I too can fall, a victim to the victim mentality, but I just remind myself, right? Remind myself, okay, is this serving you? No, right? What is happening? I journal, I'll ask questions and then move from it. So there's a little bit of a system there, but
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
it helps.
That aligns perfectly with the approach that I take in this program because, you know, students will come in and we'll have a plan and we'll do all the deep sort of inner work first to try to discover what it is that they want their business to look like and they want their life to look like and feel like. And it's very much like aligned with who they are as a person and their values and their long-term aspirations. And it's not about how can I make a quick buck, or it's more about the meaning and the impact and the longevity of it. And so we do that, and all I can do is objectively look at everything and say, like, in all these areas, I feel like you're checking the boxes. So it's only a matter of time before the result comes, but I cannot tell you when or how or what exactly that's going to look like. And I know it's frustrating to hear. And I think that, again, it sort of covers the external validation part of it, which is like, yes, I do think that you will get results. I believe you will get results if you continue, but it doesn't necessarily cover the internal part of it around like the story that you're repeating in your own mind around like, what does this mean about you? Like are you
Yes.
catastrophizing and saying like, oh, but I've done it for 6 months and I haven't gotten this number of clients. So like when I extrapolate that, like it doesn't reach my goal. I try to get people out of trying to predict the future because I think that that is one of the biggest issues that can keep the victim mentality going, is like looking at what's happening now and then trying to predict what's going to happen next based on that, which just feels very constricting and very like almost as if you can't control your destiny, but you're trying to control it. Like it's you know what I mean?
I hear you. So there, first and foremost, I'm gonna say there's a lot of noise out there. We have all these people online. Because I've been doing this for a long time, I know what it takes. Like, number one, you have to turn off the noise. Anything that makes you feel like you're not good enough or you're not getting results quick enough, I think to break that pattern, right, you need systems. Relying on willpower to think positive thoughts only takes us so far. So one is create a system, turn off the noise. For example, right now, I don't have Facebook. Facebook was my go to for business. I don't have it because I'm focusing my energy doing something else. So it's like, why do I need the noise? So I don't miss out on the one, two clients, five clients per year. I don't need that. If I focus my energy here, right, it's going to bring me so much more, right? But it's so hard because, we're trying to be everywhere, like fear of missing out as well. So this idea of turning off the noise, like turning off fear of missing out as well. And then I would even say identity. We need to learn, and that was the work I did. Who am I without tennis? Who am I without my finance title? Because when I could finance at Nestle, people thought I was nuts, right? I had a great job. I was a high performer there. I had a great trajectory. I was creating my own role, my next role. My boss said, just write your own role, do whatever you want, which is in corporate and Nestle, that doesn't happen, right? It was hard when like I had to break my identity. If I fail, if I don't get clients, for example, does that mean something about me? No, it doesn't. I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I try my best. It doesn't mean anything about me, and I think that's where most people, because they don't get the results in 6 months or a year, one, they don't plan well. Like I tell all my clients, I'm like, don't quit your job, but I don't want to do this. I'm like, well, how long can you go? 3 months, 6 months. For me, I quit my job. I invested a lot of money in myself, like around 50,000. It worked, but that's me and my personality and who I am. Because I tell my clients, yeah, I did it, but I'm not telling you to do it. If you don't have clients, you don't have a business, right? So it's like, make sure you don't put that pressure on yourself, and then you don't tie your identity to your results. Those are key. And even if you didn't get a client for 6 months, what does that mean about you?
Yeah.
Nothing. It means you have to look at sales. It means you have to look at visibility, positioning, whatever you have to look at. That's it. Take it as that, right? Just data. Versus it means I'm not good enough. And it's like, who said you're going to get a client in 6 months? Who said you're going to, you might not have a client in 6 months and they get five lined up in 1 month. And I've seen that happen. And I've
Yeah.
been in positions like that, right?
Yeah.
Where, things slow down, then things pick up, but you have to be ready for it. And honestly, daily mentally train yourself to stay in that mindset.